The voice of sharing, Durian
Hi, this is Arlene and you are listening to Durian ASEAN, the voices of discovery and sharing. Today we have our guest, Thet and he's from Myanmar. He's a political youth activist. He's also a coordinator of ASEAN Youth Forum as well as the part of the Taskforce member of National Youth Congress of Myanmar. And he's the director of the Center for Youth and Social Harmony. Welcome to the studio, Thet. How are you?
Hi. I'm good.
You are in Malaysia now, participating in the Obama's town hall meeting yesterday.
Yes.
What was the experience being part of the Obama's town hall event?
Yeah. Actually, I was expected the more critical questions about his the agreement, like the TPP agreement, or the ASEAN economic. The cooperation for the AFTA, ASEAN Free Trade Agreement for next year, or more critical things about the religion conflicts in Myanmar and the other countries. So I was expected the critical questions like that. I think he also expected the critical questions like this too. But I that was I would say that we missed a great chance that about the concerning the politics. So this is the what I felt.
Mm-hmm. Is that what kind of question that were being raised?
Two personal questions. You know what? Actually, I think we forgot that we are representing the other millions of young people in Southeast Asia. So we forgot that our single question could be affect to the other young people too. So that is the thing that we forget. So most of the questions are too personal. Then the other young people the answer is even though his answer is good, but the questions are not that powerful. So that was the problem.
But how many people from Myanmar participated in the Young Southeast Asia Leaders meeting with President Obama?
10 of us.
10 of you.
Yeah.
So any of the Myanmar people got selected to ask question?
Yeah, one of my friends, my team member, his question was selected. Actually, his question was raised. Actually, we have to, the question and answer was two things. So one is the online things. So he submitted his question to the embassy Facebook, U.S. Embassy Facebook. So they selected his question. So he asked about diversities. How the young leaders can manage the diversity, can overcome the diversity, to become a successful career. So that kind of thing he raised.
Mm-hmm, I see. And let's go to Myanmar and have a focus on the Myanmar youth in terms of political activism. Since the opening up of the Myanmar government in 2010, if I'm not mistaken, a transition between the military regime to a more democratic government, the youth in Myanmar has become very active in terms of being more involved in the politics and economy of the country. So far as in now, and you are also being part of the National Youth Congress, which is a political youth force
yes.
in Myanmar. Seeing it in this way, do you think the youth political activism in Myanmar has reached to a standard where they are truly free to voice out their concern?
I would say for the young political activists, we got a lot of free spaces to do the to mobilize the people. There was I would say that there is a change in. But there is some restrictions still there. So we still need to fight those type of restrictions. That the arresting of the young activists. For the demonstration things, we have to apply for the demonstration. If not, they will come and arrest it. But after we fought, to abolish this demonstration, law. So now the government, suspended. So we don't need to apply for the demonstration.
You don't need to apply at all?
Yeah, but later on, that the government will just come and check the kind of thing. We still have, we still have the military intelligence that kind of spying those all the the political activists.
I see. I think a lot of countries have their own intelligence spying on its people. And it's not something new to us. In terms of the political movement of the younger generation in Myanmar, when did it started? I think I'm referring to the recent political movement.
It started in after 2010, I would say. Many young people, who eager to work for the country, to change the country. So they they founded the many youth organizations like Mushrooming, Then in 2011 and 12, so it's growing bigger. In 2012, we were able to make a lot of, the remarkable movement in 2012. So I would say from the youth movement was started from 2012, growing bigger, and then both the government and civil society side, they started, recognize us.
In terms of the youth movement in Myanmar, not youth movement, sorry, the National Youth Congress in Myanmar, how did it started and how did it grow?
Yeah, so the National Youth Congress was founded in 2012 December, after the Myanmar's first ever Youth Forum, Myanmar Youth Forum 2012. So for the Myanmar Youth Forum, our design is that we did many local state and division youth forum in every state and division. So we have 14 state and division. So in each and every major city of those state and division, we we did the youth forums there. We invited the young youth organization from those areas to attend the forum. Then at that state and division youth forums, they discuss their own problems there. Then they select their representative to attend the Myanmar Youth Forum, like the nationwide youth forum, together with their statements. So at the Central Youth Forum, the National Youth Forum, then all the 14 state and division youth delegates brought their, the statements. Then they discussed that, all the common problems that we are facing, like education, freedom of expression, then, any other kind of, the youth-related things. So this is the design of the Myanmar Youth Forum. Then after that, we decided that, we already meet here, like about 300 young people there in the one place. So we decided that we have to, have a nationwide youth network, to mobilize, too easy to mobilize the young people and for the information, in order to easy the.
So you now have Asian. You have the Myanmar Youth Network in all the different regions in Myanmar.
Yeah. So that network is called National Youth Congress. Mm-hmm. So that Congress, all the state and division representative, they have to send their representative to that National Youth Congress to make a decision.
Would that include high-risk areas, for example, in the Rakhine state?
Yeah. We also did the Rakhine Youth Forum there, but unfortunately, the Muslim people from Rakhine are still not allowed to participate in the forum. So we stay lobby to the young people from Rakhine, that to Rakhine ethnic people, to get all those minorities people to let include at the forum.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So the Myanmar youth themselves, what is the agenda that you want to carry out, as in within the National Youth Congress? I know you have a few key agenda that you really want to implement for the youth of Myanmar, and I think one of it is to formulate youth policy as well
Sure.
as to create a youth council. So how
Yeah.
far has this been fulfilled?
Yeah. For the youth policy thing, now we have a youth policy study team. So that team is study the comparative study to all the youth policies. So we are now, developing. We already, research on the youth policy for other countries. So we are now, taking all the good points to adapt for our youth policy. So we have to meet the Ministry of Social Welfare and the UNFPA for the further discussions. So we still waiting for another meeting with them.
Mm-hmm. When it comes to Malaysian youth, even having the idea of having a youth parliament is still at a very infant stage, in the sense that we haven't even thought of formulating a youth policy. In Myanmar, what are the key areas or key issues that young people are talking about?
For the ordinary young people, they normally talk about the job issue, employment issue.
Youth employment.
Yeah.
Is the youth unemployment rate is very high in Myanmar?
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Then education problem. So these two is a very obvious problem that we are facing for the ordinary young people. So if you're graduated, but you cannot but you can get a job, but it's not really related to your degree. Kind of figures or kind of driver kind of things that you can get even you are the graduated.
Mm-hmm. What are the current youth political movement that is happening right now in Myanmar?
So for us, it's now the government is kind of open to the youth groups. I don't know what is their agenda. So maybe they might have some hidden agenda to us, but they are doing that. Really open to us right now. So they allowed because the government they already announced that they're going to open the youth center for all the young people in every state and division. So they started the youth center in Yangon. So, but we don't really have the agenda for the youth center. So for this, we already developed a plan that to manage the youth center, let all the young people to involve for the decision making process. So the one we already developed it. So we have to have a meeting with the ministers for the youth center things.
Mm-hmm.
But this is another thing that we are doing for the as a National Youth Congress.
Mm-hmm. The last time I was in Myanmar, I participated in a dialogue with the union minister which is the highest position of minister under the president of Myanmar. And from my experience, it seems like the Myanmar government are open to dialogue and discussion with the youth in Myanmar. But how far do you think the government has pushed forward in terms of having more public consultation with the youth there?
Actually, yes. We cannot expect that, them that much, because we stay, even though we are, working together with them, but, in the other hand, we still have a doubt to them that, whether they are really, sincere or not, or whether they have the hidden agenda or not. That is the big problem that we are facing right now. So I don't know that how far we can, deal with them. So if up to their the political weather, maybe after 2015, if they lost, the election, so maybe we all might be arrested. Who knows? Because of the politics, changing.
It's very fragile and very.
Yeah.
It's quite a high risk politics.
Yeah.
Talking about the election, I'm glad that you raised the issue of election. Myanmar will be having its first. Is it the first ever ever election that will be democratically run next year?
Yeah.
And a lot of expectation from different people. And when it comes to the election, what do you see that would happen next year within the Myanmar government?
In my point of view, the NLD party, the Daw Aung San Suu Kyi, her popularity is down now. Some people, like some activists, so they not really that supportive to her now. So maybe because of the religious issues and because of some other internal issues that we had in past years. So maybe the government, so they can take advantage of it. But I think my opinion is that the NLD party, they might make the coalition with the current the government party UFDP.
I see. Interesting development in the NLD. But first of all, when you say the Aung San Suu Kyi party is not popular, or even herself, her own image has not been as popular as before this, why is this happening?
The major thing is about the Muslim conflict, like the religious conflict. So she didn't say anything about that thing, we call it Bengali Rohingya people. So she didn't say anything about that. So most of the Rakhine people, they don't like her right now. So,
but what about the whole of Myanmar? Do they still see her as the beacon or savior for Myanmar people towards democracy?
Yeah, sure. We I believe that at the election when we already vote for her because of she's the only one who can change the country. We all believe that, but the in the other hand, like there are some people who don't like her. But just her popularity is down. But this is still at the acceptable level. So maybe we can vote for her then.
In your opinion, why she's keeping quiet on the issues of Rohingya?
It's too controversial, Some Rakhine, like professors, said there was no Rohingya ethnic in Rakhine, but those Rakhine people, those Rohingya people, also said that they were living there for many long time. So actually, this Rohingya issue is not only for the Myanmar's issue, This is because Rohingyas everywhere in Southeast Asia. So even in the Australia, so this is like for the regional issue right now. If we cannot solve those problems, so they will be getting bigger, and the more tension for that will be the threat for the ASEAN, all the ASEAN countries. So we should not let only the Myanmar government to do that. All the other ASEAN countries, they also should find the solution and talk to the Myanmar government that that way you should do and that way you should do. Or they also should support the Myanmar government to do. This is really an important thing, and also like too complicated thing. So I think the Myanmar government, not capable to do that.
You are part of the ASEAN Youth Forum, and one of the key areas in the ASEAN Youth Forum is to promote freedom of religion.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, is the issue of Rohingya will be one of the key issue that you would bring forward during the ASEAN Interfaith Meeting or the ASEAN Summit?
Yeah. You mean like when we raise the ASEAN, the Rohingya
at the
issue?
highest level in ASEAN?
There is it depends of the depends on the 20 delegates that who are attending the interfaith meeting. So actually, this is not my task. So if the team decided to raise that issue to them, so it's all their decision. So. This is also a good thing that.
But in your opinion, do you think the Rohingya issue should be one of the main issues that to be raised in the ASEAN level?
For the whole ASEAN, I would say yes, because this is the issue that we must face. We cannot run away from that issue. We really have to debate. This is that kind of bitter truth.
So now let's move to the politics of Myanmar. We are talking about the constitution of Myanmar. There were discussion during the meeting with the union minister when I was part of the youth delegates last month. And one of the key discussion was, should Myanmar draft a new constitution to reflect the people of the current people of Myanmar, because the last constitution was drafted in 2008 during the military regime. In your opinion, do you think this is possible, that to amend a new constitution?
That is really, I would say that is really difficult, because the constitution amending things are already stated in the constitution, so it should be like 75% plus one, like more than 75% of the parliament have to support this. So only then we can change it. So the 25% of the rest 25% are from military. So really difficult to change it. That's why most of the young people right now in Burma, they are striking against to the constitution to change.
When you say 25% of the military are still part of the member of parliament, in the representative in the parliament, why they are still there?
Because of the constitution, I would say.
Is it part of the constitution to have the military regime to be in the parliament?
They're kind of like, we got an Indonesian democracy, like Indonesia also the similarity like us.
So Myanmar is transiting towards democracy, and I witnessed a huge change, especially in terms of the physical landscape of Yangon, from a quiet city to a very bustling city with full of cars and traffic jams. I'm just wondering, like, is this the future of Myanmar that young people of Myanmar are looking forward?
Actually, I would say no. Like for the Myanmar, for the Yangon especially, we just want to keep the old Yangon like this, because we have a lot of heritage, the colonial heritages. So we just want to keep the old Yangon as like this, and so if they want to do the new Yangon at the outside of Yangon, so it should be like this, But the development things, or what kind of development we want, that is really the important issue for us, because Myanmar is quite naive, very wide place. So this is that, everything can be happen in Burma. Everything can be happen. So this is the time that we can shape for our future. Do we want the concrete jungle, or do we want environment friendly city, or do we want to be our country only the people with the humanity, kind of we will not be rich at all. We will not be rich in the near future. But we can change our mindset as a very helpful people, very friendly people in the world. So maybe this is the best way that that Myanmar should be. But by point of view, I don't want Myanmar, the Yangon, to be like concrete jungle like the other countries.
I mean, a lot of countries in Southeast Asia, especially countries like Malaysia, to some extent Indonesia and all that, and even Philippines, where the development has not really catch up with the reality of the society, and that's where they have huge traffic jams, many cars on the road, but very poor public transportation, very poor infrastructure, public infrastructure and all that. So I guess these are the things that maybe Myanmar can look to its neighbor and learn from it.
Sure.
Yeah. And the next thing I would like to highlight is about young people in Myanmar. What do they see their future? Do they see as being part of ASEAN, or do they still see themselves as a Myanmar, as a Burmese people?
Obviously, not only in Myanmar, as far as I know, Cambodia and Thailand, only some activists and some people who work in NGO only think that are concerned about the ASEAN issue. So most of the ordinary people, they don't really think about the ASEAN. They don't really care about ASEAN.
Even when ASEAN is, when Myanmar is one of the is the organizer or the one hosting the ASEAN summit this year, the idea of ASEAN is still not penetrating the minds of Myanmar.
Sure. Because the government, they didn't promote about ASEAN in our country, so they fail to promote it. That is the problem.
I think similar problems is happening in Malaysia. So I don't think any of Malaysian, probably most of Malaysian youth are quite oblivious on ASEAN or what it does in a way. you have been in Malaysia for a few days.
Yeah.
What is your impression of Malaysian youth?
Actually, I was stuck in the workshop for the day, so I haven't met. I only met only one Malaysian guy. So I don't really know how to feel it because I haven't met. I haven't got a chance to talk with the Malaysian people. I only got one Malaysian girl in my team, and then only the one Malaysian guy from my another group. So only these two people, two Malaysian youth I met.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But just to wrap things up, let's talk about the future of Burmese youth. In your own opinion, do you think the Burmese youth will one day achieve total freedom and independence for themselves?
Sure. We are.
Are you optimistic about it?
Sure, I'm optimistic. If we never go to the go backward for the democratization, so we really achieve that because most of the young people, like the young activists, are always working for the freedom of expression, freedom of speech, and we all are eager to have freedom. So I do believe that.
I'm very impressed with you, and I think if all Myanmar youth are like you, that means Myanmar is definitely moving in the right direction. I think the young generation would reflect the future of the country, and if the young generations are not being educated well and they don't receive good they don't receive a good upbringing in terms of how the state would provide to its people, then and also freedom, then the future will be doomed, unfortunately. But what I see is optimism in the eyes of the Myanmar youth.
Actually, the government also should focus should invest on the young people about education things and employment things. Otherwise, they will be facing a really huge problem. Not only for the Myanmar, at the time, we'll be the one ASEAN. So all the ASEAN will be facing the same problem.
Yeah, that's true. I think the issues of youth unemployment and also the lack of good quality education is a shared problems even in countries like Malaysia as well.
Yeah.
So we should work together with an ASEAN among young people.
Yeah.
Anyway, nice talking to you, and thanks for coming to our studio.
Yeah, thanks for making an interview with me. That's a really great chance for me to talk about my opinion to the Malaysian people. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.